Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dark Souls. This is episode 2. We just passed the tutorial zone, the Northern Undead Asylum, and we're now in Lordran, the main area of Dark Souls. And especially we're at Filing Shrine, which is kind of our hub area from which we can access many other zones quite easily. And we already have an NPC here. This is where if you'll free someone or help someone out, they'll probably come here and stay here and maybe act as a vendor or teach you magic or something. And yeah, we already have someone here. Let's talk to him. This is actually the dude who's going to give you some hints on where to go or what to do next. And in the cutscenes and the last NPC in the Undead Asylum, we've actually known that we will have to ring bells and that we're the chosen undead, but well, just let's talk to him.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the Undead Asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Okay, so quite a bit of information there. These 2 bells are something that will trigger an event that will lead us to another area and actually progress us in the story part of the game. But he says one is up above in the Undead Burg, one is down below in Blighttown. But actually I could just go off and go down these stairs and enter an elevator and go to New London Ruins, like a completely different area, which would probably kick my ass hard. But you could go pretty much anywhere, which you can access from Filing Shrine or anything that isn't past Sense Fortress, which, well, if you don't know the game, this is probably not going to help it very much. But what I would recommend is if you start the game, just go to Undead Burg, which is this way up here. Blighttown is quite hard, can be quite hard, and especially the boss is pretty tough. So the game pretty much recommends you to do this way, since it is, for beginners, it's the easiest. Okay, so these enemies are quite a bit faster than the ones we encountered in the Undead Asylum, as you can see. So what I'm doing right now is just blocking their attacks and waiting to counter. What you could do as well is parry or backstab them, which I'm gonna try to show you on this enemy. Firebomb guy, man, fuck you. Well, let's just skip this one. Enemies are the AI is quite smart in this game. It's not genius. Sometimes they'll just jump off a cliff, but usually they're quite smart and will react to your evasions or your blocking and countermeasure to that. Yeah. Oh, another one up here. If you have trouble playing through the first area in the game, you're going to see this part a lot. You probably will skip these enemies after coming here a bunch of times, because you're just tired of killing them and dying still. Oh, by the way, this blue, white and blue stuff above corpses or sometimes enemies is loot, which you can get from them. Oh, this is a backstab, by the way. We're just gonna pick that up. Enemies sometimes drop stuff. You have quite a lot of stats in this game, but on the very right, the lowest stuff is the item discovery, which is at 100 right now, We can push that to, I think, around 400 maybe. There's even a ring for that. You can see the item over there. I'm just not gonna get it right now. I'll do that later. I won't forget, don't worry. Oh yeah, there's the crow which brought us here. You can actually get back to the first area, which I mentioned in the last episode, but we'll do that later. So yeah, similar to Demon Souls, you'll be handling a lot of castles and giant rocky buildings, and I actually quite like this area. This is probably one of my favorite areas because, well, because it's a nice area, but it's also the easiest one. So obviously I enjoy that the most because I'm such a casual player. No. Oh, this strat is so easy. Rats might drop humanity sometimes. Humanity is the counter on the top left, next to my stamina and health, and is some sort of currency which you use in PvE as well as PvP, and with which you can help yourself out and summon phantoms or other players, and generally it has quite a bit of use, and also it determines whether or not you are in hollow state, which we are right now, or if you are in human form, when you can actually see your real face and hair and stuff. To hollow, to reverse hollow, you need a humanity, a soft one, which we don't have right now. But oh yeah, we actually do have some hard humanity. I say soft and hard, which sounds a tiny bit sexual. But I'll explain it later, the whole humanity thing. Okay, another thing about the combat. You can dual wield your right hand weapon, your attack weapon. That you can still block, but it's gonna deflect just a tiny bit of damage, incoming damage, but you will deal a lot more damage. And actually the multipliers for having criticals like backstabs or riposts, as well as the two-handed attacks are mostly different for each weapon. You can all look them up and see if you're planning to do a lot of backstabbing, you might want to get like a weapon with a high critical multiplier. But right now, well, we can make a comparison. Normal attack deals 34 damage. Let's just get a backstab. That's 10 plus 119, so that's quite a bit. And once you trigger the backstab animation, which is different for every type of weapon, enemies won't be able to hit you. So other enemies won't be able to hit you. So that's pretty much safe damage, and quite a bit of damage. I think that's a 3 times multiplier for a single hand weak attack. Yeah, this game is badass. You probably noticed by now. Okay, which else can I say about the combat? Oh, as you can see, I don't have any Asses flasks, which is actually quite a bit of problem. But we'll have a bonfire coming up, which I'll hopefully be able to enter without dying. Hopefully, we'll see. Dude. Yeah, I got you. Okay. As you can see, the setup of the enemies is quite mean in Dark Souls. Sometimes they put you in a boss fight, which you think, oh well, cool, it's a one-on-one. I'll just hunt him down and kill him. But they like sheepishly put like a very very strong ranged magician, like on a ledge which you can't enter from the boss area, and he's just shooting down at you permanently, and he's gonna rape you during the boss fight. So unless you kill him, you'll really have a bad time. Seriously. Okay, so as you can see at this bonfire, we have quite a lot of options. We can reverse hollow, which will make us human. It requires a humanity, which I'm not going to use right now. And you can kindle it, so we don't gonna gain 5 Asses flasks, as you can see right here, but actually 10, or after you kill a certain boss, even 15 or 20. We can attune magic, and because I'm a pyromancer, I got the fireball at the start. we can level up. As you can see, souls are required to purchase items as well as level up. And I think these souls I'm just gonna be putting into, well, what I'm gonna be putting into, I think dexterity at first, pretty good. Dexterity, I'm not gonna explain it at first, but pretty much vitality improves your HP, endurance improves your stamina as well as your equipment load, strength improves your damage, dexterity improves, I think, a bit of damage, but mostly your attack speed, which is very useful if you have giant and heavy slow weapons. Your resistances boost your different types of resistances, which you can see at the right. And intelligence and health are used for caster classes. If you're going to use spells and all that stuff, which we're not gonna be doing quite much of it. I think we're gonna use some pyromancy, maybe some magic weapon spells, but not really much beyond that. Yeah, so during this build I think I'm going to be focusing on endurance the most, maybe a bit of vitality because I'm not that confident in my Dark Souls skills. And well, strength and dexterity you're going to need to wield certain types of weapons which require higher stats. So you might want to get them off, like, I think, what was this, 9. With that, you're not going to be able to wield a lot of weapons. I'm not going to focus much on strength and dexterity, but I'm just going to push them so I can use them viably throughout the game. And it still boosts our attack speed, so that's very helpful. Okay, as you can see, these dudes are back. So the trick with the bonfire is it's not really a safe haven. The only safe place you'll have is pretty much the Firelink Shrine. But other than that, if you if you rest at a bonfire, every enemy's gonna be coming back, like on the entire map, whatever you do. So if you're planning to go through an area and you're low on Estus, you'll have to make the decision to go back and like pretty much redo the progress you have made, or if you're gonna move on and maybe die. And that's quite a tricky part in the game actually, but well, it requires you to plan out your actions throughout the game quite a lot more, because if you have to go to a boss fight and you use up like 4 of your Estus on the way, you're in a pretty bad place, because chances are that boss is going to hit you like at least a couple of times, and you'll need to heal up. You can actually heal yourself with humanity, of which we have 5 right here. I couldn't use them to kindle a bonfire right now, but I could consume them. At the bottom there, actually, we have our consumable slots, and then gain. Well, let me just demonstrate it. So we can gain a soft humanity at the top there and heal ourselves, which we didn't need to, but just for the sake of demonstrating it, I was doing it. Oh, fire bombs. We might use them later on the armored pig there, which we're going to see in the Undead Burg. But I think those are pretty much going to be useless for the rest of the play. Or at least I never use them. I don't know if they're very viable at some part of the game, but they don't really do a lot of damage unless your enemy's weak to fire. And that's actually a part which you will have to consider for a lot of fights. There's a lot of different damages and attack types. For example, if you're just dealing normal physical damage, there are a lot of types of it, like blunt or piercing. Oh, dude, I'm doing so badly right now. I'm sorry. Playing and talking at the same time is really difficult if you're not used to it. So, oh man, where was I? Okay, so piercing damages and all that funky stuff. We consider here strike, slash, and thrust damages. And if that enemy is gonna have a lance, you probably need to advise your adjust your armor and stuff appropriately for it. Well, I don't do that. I don't do that for like different types of physical damage. But if you're going up into a fight in like, I don't know, like a fury hell area and the enemy's like made of lava, it's pretty much a good idea to put on gear that is resistant, has high resistance against fire damage, so you won't go down in a hit. But right now that's not very much useful. And also the gear in this game doesn't really work like you would suggest it in MMOs. I guess it works like it would in other RPGs, but right here we have a useful item. This inflicts lightning damage to our right hand weapon. If you put on gear, the armor stats and everything are pretty much determined by the weight of the armor. So if you have high physical defense on your armor, chances are that your armor is probably like plate mail armor or anything similar to that, and therefore going to be very heavy and causing you to walk. Hello, this is German. Walk. No, it's gonna cause you to walk quite slowly and dodge very slowly, which is a pain in the ass if you're playing a heavy character, which I usually don't enjoy doing, because I like to roll around and troll the enemies. As you see, I want to try. I'm trying to get a backstep on this guy. Oh, come on, dude. Yeah, well. Okay, so the combat, at first you can pretty much slash at your enemies, just go to town on them. But as it goes on, okay, little trick here. This dude is running a fire keg. But as you go on the game, you're gonna have to manage your stamina quite a bit. Because if you attack, you lose quite a bit of stamina, especially if you have a big and heavy weapon to deal a lot of damage in one hit. This is going to cause you to lose a lot of stamina, and therefore you're vulnerable to incoming attacks or counter attacks or anything, because if your stamina is low or you don't have any stamina and you're trying to block an attack, your guard is going to be broken. You're going to tumble around, and basically your enemy's going to get a free hit on, and you don't want that happen, really. Oh, a little trick right here, walking up here. These kegs, I think this one right here has a crystal lizard in them. And if you kill them, you get like upgrading materials and for crafting and stuff, which we'll get into in a few episodes. But these dudes are really, really helpful. But you will have to hunt them and kill them quickly, because otherwise they'll disappear until you rest it at a bonfire. Okay, so which I didn't go over this when you came across it, but down here is a pretty tough enemy. Like seriously, this dude is. Whew, I don't want to do him right now. I want to do him. No, but if we kill him, we have a very small chance of getting his weapon or shield, which are massively OP at this time, and which are pretty much useful throughout the entire game. Well, fuck it, man. Our shield is too weak. I actually forgot that there's a merchant in one of the houses, which we passed. We're gonna come back to this dude, I think. I might do it right now after we get the heater shield. Oh, dude. Oh fuck. Shit. Okay, this is bad. This dude will pretty much one-shot us. Okay, let's just go back to this little area, and behind these boards here is a little house with a undead merchant, and he sells, well, for the start of the game, he sells pretty good items actually. And if you kill him, he actually drops the sword which he wields, the Uchigatana, which is, oh dude, come on, man, are you serious, man? Oh yeah, come on, kill me. Yes, thanks guys, thanks. Just trying to do let's play here, don't mind me. This dude followed us for like, I don't know, 2 minutes. Man, he really doesn't like us. So now if we respawn at the bonfire, you'll see all our humanity and all our souls are gone. Right now you think this is pretty shitty. I don't want to play this game. You can actually get them back. You see this blue gloom at the left right there. Wait, there. That's actually our humanity and souls, which we can pick up and regain fully. But if we die before getting back to them and retaining them, they are gonna be gone forever. Like, seriously. Walk around with like 100,000 souls, which you're planning on using at the next merchant. All lost, man. Those are like one of the points where I just really hate this game. No, I don't hate it, but I get really fed up with it. Like, I'll need to stop for a few days and just get back on it later, because man, that really kills it for me sometimes. But that's part of the game. That's why it's also awesome, because it's hard. It's very hard. It wants you, man. It's hard for you. So let's just kill off these dudes. They're actually not very easy, because they can attack while block, and they have quite a bit of range. But yeah, we managed to kill them. And here are souls and humanity, which are actually 5 humanity is quite a bit for this time in the game. So I really don't want to lose them right now. Well, I guess if we do, doesn't matter. We just get them back with maybe a bit of multiplayer. Yeah.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
A pretty common theme in the game is also NPCs ending their dialogue with a weird laugh. Some of them always do that, man. Always. But it has a lot. I really enjoy it. So if we wouldn't have the master key right here, I would really suggest you buying the residence key right here, because it's you can, like, I think you can open 2 doors, one up here and another one down in the lower Undead Burg, where you can save like a mage, I think. You can also buy some cool weapons. Those are mostly starter weapons for other classes. I think the dagger is for the mage, scimitar is for wanderer. That's our starting weapon. We're not gonna buy them. Well, actually, we'll buy the short bow. And the heater shield. If you look at the stats for shields, mostly the damage reduction percentage stats are important. As you can see right here, the heater shield has 100% physical damage reduction, and quite some good other reductions. 70% fire is helpful against those firebomb guys, so let's just buy that as well. And
thank you, Kai.
the game lets you lets you compare your equipment quite well. You can see the blue stats are improvements, and the red stats are oh man, my English skills. As you can see right here, 65% physical damage is really bad, because all attacks, pretty much all attacks, unless casted, are physical attacks. So you'll need 100% on that, or at least like 95 or something to really don't go down. I don't know if I'm gonna kill this guy. I really enjoy the Uchigatana, especially for the lighting Uchigatana. Well, let's just do it. I think we don't need anything else from him. Let's just check.
I hope you.
Yeah. Okay. Purchase item. What has? Chainmail album. It's not very good. Oh, let's get some arrows, because you remember that dragon we came across? Oh, wait a second. Actually, let's get this arrow. That dragon which we came across on that bridge earlier. We'll see him later on, and he's a really good spot to farm souls early on. But you don't need to farm anything in this game. Actually, just play it and enjoy it, and you'll get souls anyway, and lose them again and regain them and everything. Yeah, okay. So arrows. Wow, I took a long time to
Thank you.
to buy those
Very
arrows.
much.
I'm sorry.
Come back soon.
Yeah, well, that dragon actually has a tail, and most of the dragons and drakes and whatever you might call them,
Have you?
they have tails which you can
you
cut off or
lousy
shoot
rat.
off. In this case,
Why
Um,
me, little?
yeah, shut up, man. And those tails are weapons like whips or swords or and just weapons which are really powerful most of the time. And especially the one we get up front is quite a small sword, which is very, very agile and very, very handy, and very fast. But still deals a lot of damage. Well, I can tell you right now, this hand axe does 80 damage. The Drake sword, which is the weapon from the tail weapon, it deals 200 physical damage, which is a lot more than this, and I think which is gonna be our main weapon for the start of the game until we get a good Uchi-Katana or maybe a Chaos weapon going. Let's see. Oh, we can actually use the Uchi-Katana. At the bottom right, you can see those two red numbers. Those are the required stats to wield the weapon in one hand. You can still actually, if you don't have the stats required, you can still use it two-handed and do the full damage and full swing motion. But we want to use it in one hand, so we'll need to upgrade our strength and dexterity soon. Yeah, let's just go with the axe right here. Okay, what's in here? Oh yeah, there's another item. I think that's a wooden shield. Yeah. I think it has like 90% physical damage reduction, but since we have the heater shield right here at hand, we don't really need it. Okay. I think we'll try the Black Knight in this episode just to stop it off. I think we're going for like a good 30 minutes right now. Yeah, let's just do that right now. Yeah, those Black Knights, why I kill them, actually this dude only guards like an item which puts you in like some sort of hyper mode, so if you're low on HP, oh dude, I'm doing so badly right now. If you're low on HP, you get into like this mode where you do more damage and I think have higher resistances and pretty much boost your damage, I think, for maybe double it even. But it makes you really vulnerable, and I think it's mostly used by pros. Well, I'm talking about pros. I don't know any pros, but by speedrunners who want to save time and well, take the risk of dying instead. But we're not gonna use that because I suck in this game. Well, I don't suck in this game, but I really do suck if I do commentary while playing. So I'm not that confident in myself right now. Okay. So you can see these the enemies in this game mostly drop weapons and armor which they are wielding. This dude dropped the helmet, the ugly helmet you can see right here. We're not gonna use that. I think the stats are pretty shitty, not much better than them which we have right now. As you can see, it weighs a bit more. The rightmost stat, the 1.1 and here 2.6 is the weight of the item, and some armors have crazy amount of physical reduction and other stats, but to wear those you'll need a lot of equipment load, and because otherwise you'll have to walk or run very slowly and lose the ability to dodge properly. And actually I think there are thresholds. Well, I don't know if threshold is the right word, but we have 51 equipment load right now. I think if you're like below 50%, you have the movement speed with which you can roll pretty well. I think like this, but with which you run and sprint slower. And if you are under 25%, which we are right now, gladly. You have full dodge and roll and walking speed. And that is actually, in my opinion, the best way to play defensively, because I don't really trust in shielding, because I'm not very good when it comes to stamina management, and therefore I'm very vulnerable to get my guard broken by even like enemies like this. Yeah, as you can see right here, an attack an enemy makes, the amount of, well, let's rephrase that, the amount of stamina you lose from an enemy attack depends on the type of attack and how much stability your shield has. I think the cedar shield has quite a good amount. There are better shields, definitely there are better shields out there, but for a start, this shield has quite a good amount of stability. Therefore, we don't lose much of our stamina when blocking an attack. Okay, so this is the Black Knight which followed us around before he killed us like 10 minutes ago. So let's put on our lightning damage and sneak up on him and maybe get a first hit off, which I doubt. Oh, so lucky. Oh, dude, I'm scared. I'm gonna try to get backstab off of him. I'm not gonna show you how much damage he does, because you can guess. He does quite a bit of damage. But right now, with our gold pine resin on, we deal actually quite a bit of damage to him, since he is like, these are the last enemies you'll be fighting before you kill the final boss in the game. So I think that shows you pretty much how hard these guys are. And this dude actually goes down pretty well. He's down. That was fast. Oh, look at that. This is going to be a fantastic Let's Play, everybody. I'm so happy. I've never had this happen to me. This dude dropped his giant fucking sword. This thing deals 220 damage, but it requires a shit ton of stats, man. Well, actually, it's quite okay for the damage. It requires 20 strength and 18 dexterity, which I don't think we're ever gonna get to. But I can show you a type of play which some people do is they block like this, and if they attack or backstab, they switch to their they switch to their dual wielding to get the full swing ability. But I think we don't even have enough stats to do that with this sword. That's pretty sad. Okay, wait, let's check. This is two-handed. Oops. Wait a second. Let me check if I can see the stats. No, it still says 20 and 18. It reduces the amount of, I think, strength you need to wield a weapon, but we still can't use it appropriately. You can see right here, the attack animation is super fucking slow. This is usually, I think this is a great sword. They are not very fast, but still they are much faster than this. Look at that. That's so slow. Well, I think we're gonna leave it off right here. And in the next episode, we'll fighting the Taurus demon up there. I think you already saw the fog wall, which I ran past a couple of minutes ago. But yeah, we'll do that in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.